invited to the Burlington Veterans Dinner in Burlington, 28th of April. 6 of the veterans that were in my camp at Dunvegan invited me on stage with 6 veterans from the camp that I had started at Dunvegan. Veterans for Freedom took over and extricated me from my camp once we got them in there because, I quote, I stated I was a veteran. I have stated multitudes of the times I'm not a veteran. Maybe at one point in time, Pops Jamie Hart turned around and said, "You're more of a veteran than I am." Right? So they invite me up on stage to have my picture taken with all the veterans up there. Then I'm going to say, turned around because I wouldn't give them my military ID. It's none of your business what my military ID number is. However, Sabine has seen it. I have a quilt of valor given to me by Quilt of Valor. Okay? I was honored that. My ID number for my service. So my ID number is on that quilt. So is my name. Okay?
So it wasn't accessible to them.
They turned around because I wouldn't give it to them because I don't know who they are. Why do you need my ID number just so I can be part of your group? Right? So they never come to me and ask me, but Jamie Hart, known as Pops, decided to rant and rave at me that I wouldn't give my number. And I said, when they come and ask me for it, I will decide to give it to them. Right? They never did. So what they did was they took the original picture of the veterans up on stage at the Burlington Veterans Dinner. And they clown-faced my face and then posted, who's this clown? What's he? Well, he's Stolen Valor. They actually reported me to Stolen Valor, which is a legit organization, and they verify. I have no military medals on me. I have no military outfit. I'm not wearing a beret. I'm not wearing anything to represent active or retired military. Okay?
Which is accurate.
Which
looking
is
at
accurate.
your situation.
Okay? So they turned around and they deflamed the out of me, to which I said, if this continues, I'm coming after you.
Well, yeah, that's defamation.
Right? Sabine was in my corner 1,000% defending me. They went after her and attacked her.
I didn't even have any idea that what went on.
So here I am.
But I pay no attention to these people. I told you
I know what I did.
I don't like them.
I can't stand them. I've got no nice words for them. They take over Camp Dunvegan, turn it into Camp Eagle, defame our picture. They take my signature out of it. They put Pops the Builder on it because, well, he painted it and did everything else.
Let's just repeat this. This is all after you basically made sure that Veterans for Freedom got a place to produce their shows in that very camp. You got them in there. This is what you explained to me earlier. That is truthful, right?
When I first left downtown Ottawa, okay, Booth and John A. McDonald, I started Bank Street, 6662 Bank Street, okay, and I named it the Veterans Roost. Check Telegram. Veterans Roost is on there. I started that.
That Telegram channel has since been removed. It had 1,500 international members and got the audience talking across national limitations.
I was the first one there under Wayne's property. The very first person that showed up after me was Sam the mechanic from Nova Scotia. And he calls me up and says, "Hey, we have a veteran. Her car has been sabotaged. Her name is Shorty." I said, "Get it here now." We put it in the shop. We completely rebuilt, reflushed her motor, the fuel tank, everything else. And I brought the veterans in so they had a safe housing. When we got extricated from there, we wound up going out to Dunvegan, to which I started Dunvegan and got Veterans for Freedom in. I don't lie. I have no reason to. I speak the truth, and if I hurt people's feelings, it's not because I'm intentionally going out to stab you in the back and hurt your feeling. The truth hurts. The truth will prevail. I have been true to my word right from day one. I've been speaking the same thing since day one.
Well, first of all, you were on a bridge, so that must have been extra hard. Were you actually parked on the bridge?
No, I was parked when I was in Ottawa. No, we were parked on Booth and John A. Macdonald.
Oh, okay.
So we weren't on the bridge, but I was right at the War Museum, right at the traffic
Must have
light.
been one of the most extreme climates that you experienced there, in comparison to other places. I know on the hill it's also a lot colder than, for example, further down on Bank.
Yeah, if you go off of Wellington and you get into Bank and Kent and Slater and stuff like that, you still get a little bit of the wind blowing, but the weather temperature is a lot different because you're sheltered. On Booth and John A. Macdonald, we were basically exposed.
Exposed,
Right.
that's the word, yeah.
So
How long have you been there altogether? 17 days?
I was there right from I think we got into town on the 28th. It was a Friday night. And I was there right up to the insurgents by the mercenaries, by the Quebec police, by the UN,
Yeah.
by the United Nations, by NATO and all them people that
Do you think all of
showed up.
these troops were on that battle?
Absolutely, without a doubt. NATO flew into the United Nations flew into North Bay. They flew into Montreal.
Do you have one-on-one reports on that? You
Yes, I do.
spoke to people who saw that with their own two eyes?
I know some of them.
Wow.
Right, some of the mercenaries that were in the third line, I've actually worked with, hands-on, and looked at them and said, "You sold out on Canadian soil." They wouldn't look, they wouldn't blink, they wouldn't move, name tags out, but facially I knew who they were.
Really? Wow. Is that related to your own military background?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you basically worked with some of these people that you then identified
Some of these people
while
I had
the
a very,
RCMP was riding in on Indigenous elders with the horses, right?
when they were riding in with the horses, absolutely. I
I
have worked
wondered
with some
what
of them.
kind of troops that actually were, and then my speculation was kind of like countered. I know there was a counter movement saying, "Oh, that was just Quebec," and they took
Quebec had a lot of their,
they took their tags
Road-
down and
road-
their
yeah.
name tags down and all that.
none of them were allowed to wear name tags because you don't
Personal
look like this.
liability.
You don't have a name. I can't associate you.
But
Right?
that's still a way to sue people who try to make you things that are really not lawful. You
Yep.
can sue them for personal liability, yeah?
You can sue the police force.
And that's why
You can sue the federal government
the
because they're
exact
the ones that
idea
brought
of
them
those
in.
individuals is being obscured, exactly to detour that.
Most of the Ottawa
Accountability.
Police Department, and I'm not sticking up for Ottawa Police Department in any way, shape, or form. However, for the most part, when they were walking around and they were doing their welfare checks and they were making sure that we weren't breaking the laws and the rules and the regulations, other than our bad parking bylaws, the Ottawa Police did not want these other police forces in there. They did not want them. And they said, "Our hands are tied. We can't do anything. We cannot interfere."
Were you in reoccurring liaison with Ottawa Police?
I was in liaison with a couple of them. I went to the Arc Hotel and I was very active with the meetings. I would come back daily and hold a meeting with the rest of what was left of our group. I would let everybody know what we had discussed, what was coming down the pike, where the donations were going, what was going on. Everybody was in the know, and it was mandatory that everybody showed up for the meetings, right? Because you're not there, these guys are there, you've missed out on key valuable stuff. Well, we might need to bug out, and you don't have a clue what's coming, and the next thing you know, you're getting smashed and pulled out of a vehicle. It was extremely imperative that everybody knew. When we went to Bank Street, right, and started Bank Street, every single Wednesday and every Saturday we had meetings. I had my say. Then I would bring in one of the veterans, and they would bring in their input. And then if we had any questions from anybody, the questions were addressed. The questions were talked about and discussed, right? Nobody was shut out. However, if you came in, or John Doe came in, and somebody said something bad about John Doe or Jane Doe, it wasn't, okay, get out of my camp. It was, bring me valid, verifiable proof. show me hands-on proof, and they will be removed from Kent. There won't be a second guess. And one of them brought one of the guys in, and I won't mention his name, that was downtown on Kent Street kicking the fires over, pushing one of the veterans around. The list can go on what he did.
We had lots of instigation on Kent.
He was massive instigator, and he was come to my camp.
In the end, you know, I had to bug out because I was scheduled for my broadcast, and I had to do it somewhere else because I had no connection there, because the government was blocking all cell.
Oh, they were blocking all the time.
The captains begged me to stay, to turn on my camera. It was so bad at night, you know, what we experienced there. All instigated.
So they brought me verifiable proof on this guy. I watched the video. There's no way you can fudge the video. Absolutely no way. There is no time lapse in any way, shape, or form. All the footsteps followed, 100%. Better than NASA, better than the government. Okay? I went up to him. I said, "You, come here. We need to talk." I had 4 other people behind me. And I said, "You need to leave." And he said, "Jerry, you know me. Jerry, you know me." I said, "I thought I did." I said, "Video evidence does not lie. Unedited video evidence does not lie." And I said, "I have this from 2 different phones. They are 100% identical." He never came back. He was not welcome. We went to the biker church, and he tried to convince me at the biker church how innocent he was. Well, he was staying with a pastor from another church. I said, "I couldn't care if you're living with the devil himself. The pastor does not know what you were doing on Kent. Video evidence does." The pastor says, "Well, he's changed." I said, "You don't change in a week." I said, "It's impossible to change in a week. We don't need this on our camp," right? And extricated him from his camp. Bank Street ran like a dream. When we went to Dunvegan, it ran like a dream. And then about 2.5 months in, 2.5 months, we managed to procure that Veterans for Freedom could come in through the homeowner, the landowner. We got the Veterans for Freedom in there.